Right, welcome back. Later on we have Gavin and Stacey star James Corden, because he's just become a lesbian vampire killer. And we have young Dean. He's been to New Zealand learning how to be a sheep farmer. And we've even got you a Bond girl. But it's time now for my first guest. Now, he's a true matinee idol whose friends and co-stars read like a who's who of Hollywood. From Clark Gable, Bette Davis and Gloria Swanson to today's stars like Mike Myers and Charlie Sheen. He was, of course, one half of Heart to Heart, and his amazing life is here in his new book, Pieces of My Heart. Will you please raise the roof and welcome Mr. Robert Wagner. Let me hear you. I'm going to tell them how I met you.
Yeah, do.
Welcome to the show, Robert.
Thank you.
Come on! You know something? 10 to 5, I was outside with a lamb, believe it or not, and I thought I must just go in now and introduce myself and put my best foot forward and be polite. And the lamb pooed on me. And I went into makeup and caked. Very nice to meet you, so please forgive me, please.
Oh, Paul.
What a fabulous book.
I thought you looked terrific with all of that.
Yes, that he thought an lovely one. What a cracking book.
Oh, I'm so happy.
This is the definitive book about Hollywood. Oh. It's like a who's who. Everybody is in it. I mean, has it been a long time coming, this book?
Well, many people had asked me to write a book.
Yeah.
And so I kept putting it off, and then I met this wonderful man, Scott Iman, who helped me write it, and Jill helped me a lot too, and I don't know, it just started coming out of me, and we tried to put it together and started from beginning to end. But you know, when you write a book, you don't have an audience, you don't know what's going to happen, but it's been responded to so positively. It's really amazing to me.
It's glorious.
I'm so
it's a real
like
page turn. You know, you go, you get all these great names from Hollywood that are all through it.
I'm so happy you enjoyed it. That's great.
It's wonderful. Barbara Stanwyck, now she's one of my favourites.
Yes.
She was your first love.
Yes. She was one of mine too. You know, I did a film with her called Titanic.
Yeah,
that
I remember it, yeah.
Jean Negulesco directed, and Clifton Webb was in it, and a wonderful actress, Audrey Dalton. And we met each other, and my heart fell out of it, you know.
I don't blame you, though.
Oh, it was great. And
such a feisty lady, wasn't she?
Yeah, well, she had a wonderful sense of humor, and I fell in love with her, and we were together for about 3.5 years, and it was a wonderful relationship. The basic problem was that I was 22 and she was 44, and that kind of relationship couldn't happen at that time. Yeah. No, it just wasn't there. So, but she was so wonderful, and she was so kind and loving and generous and absolutely wonderful to me. And it came at just the right time in my life.
Fabulous.
Yeah,
I love it. I mean, your childhood memories. What was it like meeting Tarzan as a child?
With me, who?
Tarzan. Tarzan, Johnny Westmuller. Tarzan.
Oh, yeah. Tarzan. I didn't get that.
It's my accent, Tarzan. Yeah, Tarzan and Jane.
Tarzan. Yeah, it was wonderful. But I just thought the world of Johnny Weissmuller, you know. And I went to school when I was a kid. I went to school with Edgar Rice Burroughs' son. And we used to go out to Mr. Burroughs' ranch all the time, which was called Tarzana. And when we were kids, we'd go out there, and he had these electronic things in the trees, you know, and you'd hear, ooh, ooh, ah, 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 and you'd say, who is that? And he'd say, Cheetah, that's Cheetah. He had us crazy, you know. He had us crazy hearing all these different things. But Johnny Weissmuller was really something.
And Fred Astaire used to pick you up from school.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing, isn't it?
Well, you know what's amazing is that, to me, and one of the reasons that I wrote the book, Paul, was because I start the book off with hiding under a tree when I was a kid. And I was on this golf course, and I looked down. I was maybe 10 years, 11 years old. I looked down the fairway, and these 4 gentlemen were walking toward me. And I kept watching them. And the 4 gentlemen were Clark Gable, Cary Grant, Randolph Scott, and Fred Astaire. And when I saw them, I said to myself, oh, that's where I wanted. That's what I'd like to do. I mean, and they were so wonderful to me. And I had known Fred Astaire because I went to school with his son. He'd come to school. I was what they called a boarder. And he'd pick me up and put me in his car, and I'd go to their house and play on the weekends. And he was just so wonderful to me, and I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had never seen Fred Astaire before. You know, I was just a kid.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I wound up playing his son in It Takes a Thief. And all of these things these different things that have happened to me, I thought were so serendipitous, but also, you know, what is the reason for it all, you know? And I'd met so many wonderful people, and they've been so great to me, and that's why I wrote the book, to acknowledge them. They were really so wonderful. And I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. You know?
I mean, you can tell the affection, you know, when you're reading it, that you hold for it. Like Susan Haywood.
Oh, yes.
I mean, Susan Haywood, fabulous star. I'll Cry Tomorrow and Smash Up Story of a Woman and all these.
Did you ever see that film, With a Song in My Heart?
Yeah, Jane Froman story.
Jane Froman. That was the picture that gave me that was my start, really, you know, because she played Jane Froman, and I was this wounded soldier, and she asked me, do you want to hear a song? And I said, yes, I'll Walk Alone. And she sang to me, and I cried when she sang to me. And the picture was a big hit, and the people walked out of the audience. You know, when they walked out, they said, who was that kid? And that's what started me.
And that was the big break?
That was the big one. But she was a very special lady, Susan Hayward. She was really a wonderful woman.
How old was Natalie Wood when she decided to marry you? Lovely, gorgeous Natalie Wood.
Isn't that a wonderful story?
Yeah.
Well, she told me that she turned to her mother when she was about 8 or 9 years old. And I was under contract at 20th Century Fox, and she was there. She was about maybe 5 or 6 or 7 or something like that. And she said, I'm going to marry him someday. That's the man I want to marry, Lucky, I'm glad she said that. Let's
be honest. I mean, you're a handsome man now, but I mean, talk about drop dead gorgeous, Robert. I mean, really, come on. I mean, look at all this. I mean, honestly. You look at the pictures here and you go, oh, I'm jealous. I mean, just a beautiful youth.
There's some wonderful shots of it.
I mean, there's a fabulous photo of you and Natalie. Where is it, the photo? When was this?
Oh, that's when we went on our first honeymoon. Not a honeymoon. We went on our first wedding. That was taken in the train station on the way to Scottsdale, Arizona. Yeah, that's a nice shot, isn't it? Yeah, there's some fabulous. That was kind of difficult to do, you know, to pick out the pictures, because I had so much art, which helped me go back, you know, to remember some of these stories and that are in the book. You know, that helps a lot when you can have a few still pictures. And
I was going to say, how did you pick the photographs? Because I mean, there's so many wonderful pictures in this book, but you must have thousands of them.
Yeah, I did have quite a few, and the kids, my daughters, have them all. You know, so my daughter, Courtney, my youngest daughter, was the one that wanted me to use that picture on the front of the book. Yeah, she said, "Daddy, that should be the cover of the book," and that was taken of me when I did The Longest Day.
That was one of your career highs, wasn't it, The Longest Day?
That was a pretty good one,
great movie.
That was a good one. I was very proud to be in that picture. It was a very successful movie, and Daryl Zanuck produced it, and Daryl Zanuck was very responsible for my career.
Well, we've got a clip of this now.
Oh, you do?
Bert, if you would, please, The Longest Day.
You mean to tell me that's all we gotta climb?
They're not as high as the ones we've been practicing on.
It wasn't shooting at us then. I don't know why the Air Force or Navy can't do this job.
The big guns are buried in bunkers behind the cliff. They can't even see them from the air. That's why we gotta knock them out, or they'll murder our guys on the beach.
Brilliant. Brilliant.